Hello, this is the Winter Fancy Food Show 2020, day 2, and we have Joanne Weir. Hi, Joanne, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Please tell us a little bit about your background in the food industry.
Oh, well, should I start like third grade or?
Whatever you want to tell us.
Okay, so I'm from a food family. I'm a fourth generation professional cook. So I live, breathe, think food. And so I got my degree in fine arts, and after teaching for a few years, high school fine arts, I was like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. And I went and studied in France and got a Master Chef Diploma, worked for 5 years at Chez Panisse as a chef. And then I just started, I have such a love of travel. I started, first of all, traveling in Australia, New Zealand teaching. But now, I travel all over the world teaching cooking. I also own a restaurant in Sausalito. I've written 16 cookbooks about the Mediterranean, 1 book about tequila.
Okay.
And I opened a Mexican restaurant. That's the one in Sausalito. And then I also host these trips along the Mediterranean. And in Morocco, Spain, Greece, Italy, the south of France. I do those every May and every October. And I host my own television show on public television. So I'm the producer of the show, executive producer. And I've been on for 20 years.
That's amazing.
20 years. Yeah.
So you travel so much.
Yes.
What kind of trends are you seeing around the world that are exciting you right now?
Well, I don't know. I think being here at the Fancy Food Show, I think, we're seeing so much from all the other countries, but I think really we're not the only one in the U.S. thinking about plant-based. I think that's happening everywhere. And I think this whole direction towards health. You see every single person looking at labels, and I don't think it's just America. But I think maybe for us, it's more unique. I think other cultures really take it for granted. But anyway, I do love that aspect of travel, of really seeing what's going on and making new discoveries. That's really kind of what my show is about.
Okay. Yeah. And you keep writing more cookbooks about Mediterranean food.
Yes.
Is it because Mediterranean food is evolving? People are changing their diets, or are you learning more about Mediterranean food?
I do continue to learn more every single time I'm there. But do I think, no, I don't think it's evolving so much. Honestly, I could drink olive oil. So I really, really love olive oil. And I love any cuisine that's based around olive oil. So for me, I just continue to spend time there, not just drinking olive oil, but I just love the food from there. I love the healthy aspect of it. I've probably been on the Mediterranean diet for since I definitely worked at Chez Panisse, which was 1985. So I just live, breathe that food. I grew up with a mom. We had an amazing garden. Both of my grandparents had very big farms.
Okay.
And my grandfather on my mother's side had a dairy farm. And so I grew up eating great food, and we would have 10 vegetables on the table. So to me, plant-based, I think I've eaten plant-based my whole life. But and I love that about the Mediterranean. It's just a very healthy cuisine.
So did you grow up thinking about sustainability and all that because you grew up around farms?
Yes. I think it's funny because I think we lived sustainability. We didn't give it a name. It's just like heirloom. My grandfather was, he had every kind of tomato, but we didn't call them heirloom tomatoes.
Right. They were just tomatoes.
And we didn't talk about organic, even though he was organically farming. But, it's exciting. When I worked at Chez Panisse, it's interesting because with Alice, she always talked, from 85 to 90, she's talking about organic. No one ever thought that would go mainstream like it has. I think that same thing is going to happen with plant-based. It's really going to be mainstream. So I think it's fun. The show is really exciting, and it's great to see how that's evolved here too.
But your restaurant is Mexican.
I know. Yes, it is.
Tell me a little bit. How did you get involved in
Okay, so I wrote 1 book about tequila.
Right.
And I was on a boat. A friend, really good friends of my husband's and mine, has a beautiful yacht, and we were off the coast of Mexico, and I handed him my book.
Yes.
And I said, here's my new tequila book. And he said, oh, I love tequila. And I said, oh, yeah, I do too. And he said, I make the best margarita. And I said, no, I make the best margarita. I said, it's right here in my book. And he said, okay, well, let's do a competition. So he shook his and I shook mine, and he tasted mine, and he said, Joanne, yours is the best. And so anyway, I guess his was very high in alcohol. Mine was very balanced.
Oh.
So anyway, he's a very well-known restaurateur. His name's Larry Mindell. And we opened Copita 8 years ago, and we are a huge success. Yesterday, actually, we have 3 concessions at Levi's Stadium, which is where the 49ers played yesterday. So, yes, our restaurant's doing incredibly well.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Very well known in the Bay Area. And we keep winning for Best Margarita.
Oh, that's
and whose
awesome.
was it? Mine.
So let's talk about margaritas.
Yes.
Artisanal drinks are going non-alcoholic right now. That's the trend. What do you think about that?
I love it. I love it. Honestly, there have been times when, like after the new year, you say, oh, I don't want to drink, and you drink a mocktail or a non-alcoholic drink. I love them. I really do. I don't always drink to get the buzz. I really drink because I love the flavor. I mean, I love wine too. I always say I'm about food, wine, and travel, but I really think tequila should be added in there too. But I really love them. I think that it's a great trend, and I love seeing it. There's so many things here too at the show, like. We were walking around, and there was one place called Perfect Puree that makes all these beautiful flavors to put into cocktails. I love seeing that. And so I think this mocktail thing is great, or non-alcoholic, whichever we want to call it.
Where are you traveling next? What kind of flavors do you want to taste? What kind of things do you want to see?
Well, that's a really good question. I love the food of Morocco so much, and I feel like I really know and understand that cuisine. No, I don't have any Moroccan in me, but I really love that cuisine, and I love the spices. I love the freshness. I really love the focus on vegetables, and like more vegetables than protein. I really like that kind of cooking. But I've just filmed in Greece, and I really love the food of Greece. I was on the island of Syros. I love Spain. I love northern Spain. I spend a lot of time in the Rioja. And I love the food and wine combination that's there. I love the food, but the wines are beautiful too. So I don't know. It's wherever I am at the time. I'm spending a ton of time in Sicily. And the food, I'm spending time around Mount Etna, and the wines that come from there, the natural wines, are fantastic, as well as the ingredients. And so that's really exciting to me too. So I love all those places. I love all of them.
Do you think people are more open lately to experimenting with different cuisines from other parts of the world?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you think that is?
Absolutely. I think because of travel, and I think because, with the internet, things are so much more, social media, things are so much more accessible. Yeah, for sure. And I love that. I love it. I love that, people do really, with my show, what's great about it is, I travel to all these countries filming, but it's fun that with television, you can watch, my show or any show about travel, and, you can sit in your own living room and you can watch a show and you can be there with people. I know you love to travel like I do, and it's just such a wonderful thing to be able, I feel so lucky that I'm able to do it, but I love that I'm able to share it with people.
What kind of ingredients do you wish were grown here that you have seen around the world that are not really available here?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know what I would really say. I don't know. One thing I wanted to say was what I'm excited with at the show. One of the things that I loved was this apple vinegar, apple cider vinegar. And this is made in Italy. Italy, I didn't know this, has 4,000 varieties of apples grown. There are 6,000 in the world. These apples come from Trentino, which is the best apple region in all of Italy. But anyway, it is made in the style of balsamic, and it's the most incredible vinegar I think I've ever tasted. It was fabulous.
And how would you incorporate it in a meal?
How would I? Oh, it would be delicious with fruit. It'd be delicious drizzled on ice cream. It would be, I could see it also in a savory application with, say, if you had some pork, it would be absolutely amazing. But the other thing that I saw at the show and I know I've changed a little bit direction, but
we want to hear.
The other thing that I loved at the show, it was a barrel-aged maple syrup. Well, my grandfather made maple syrup, and it was so delicious. But this barrel-aged, it was better than my grandfather's. I hate to say that.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
Oh, I love talking to you. Thanks so much.
And we'll catch you next time.